Greetings from London. So today is my first full day in London, and the main thing on my itinerary will be going to Hampton Court, and probably for dinner I'll be having like fish and chips. Yesterday, I arrived in London and I went to Borough Market, and so I went to Ginger Pig and got 2 sausage rolls. I got the traditional sausage roll and the lamb sausage roll, and a Scotch egg with blood sausage. The best thing I had from Ginger Pig was the lamb one because it had more flavor in my opinion, and it was kind of spicy, while the traditional one was kind of very plain. It was like an Italian sausage. I also had the paella there, and the rice had a lot of flavor there, and you could see them making the paella, them cooking the meat and the stock, and then putting everything together in this really big paella pan. And yeah, I think the best thing was really just that lamb sausage roll. At Borough Market, they have lots and lots of different types of food and cuisines there. So they have food that you can eat there, and then also food that you can take home, like fresh produce. And I grossly overestimated how much food I would be able to eat, because after eating a little bit of the stuff I got at Ginger Pig and the paella, I was completely stuffed. And I just remembered I also got a chocolate almond croissant at Borough Market, and that was really good. I still think that the croissant I got in Paris at this bakery called Blissacre was better, but it was still a really good solid croissant I got at Borough Market. The vendors I went to at Borough Market accepted credit card, and it seems almost all of the different vendors will accept credit card, though some will try to pressure you to pay with cash, like at the paella place, they're oh, cash is king, pay with cash if you can. But pretty much everyone I saw who got the paella, they were all paying with credit card. There's also not a lot of seating options at Borough Market, so be prepared to do a balancing act of holding your food and eating. I had to stand in this alleyway at Borough Market to eat my food, and I was able to eat it, but it's kind of difficult to eat standing up and balance a plate of food. To get to Hampton Court, I am taking a train. I'm at the Waterloo station, and you don't have to go up to a desk to buy a ticket. Rather, if you have contactless payments through Apple Pay, you can use that to be able to pay. I got off at Hampton Court station, which was a short walk to Hampton Court. All 6 wives of Henry VIII lived at Hampton Court. However, the royal family did not always own Hampton Court. During medieval times, the land was owned by the Catholic military order Knights Hospitaller. The land ultimately made its way into the hands of Cardinal Thomas Wolsey, who had the vision of turning a modest home into a splendid palace that would eventually, quite literally, be fit for a king. His downfall came due to not being able to secure Henry VIII's annulment from Catherine of Aragon in order for Henry to marry Anne Boleyn. This led to Wolsey giving Henry Hampton Court in 1529. Okay, you can pick up your audio guide in the gift shop. I'm just thinking about buying a mug and then just boogie on out of here. I've been to Hampton Court now, so I end a visit. The audio guide helps to give great historic insight into what life was like at Hampton Court. It talks about this manners book, for example, where it says, to refrain from passing urine is bad for your health, but be discreet when you go. Do not hold in digestive wine by clenching his buttocks. If you can go somewhere else, then do that on your own. But if not, let him disguise the fart with a cough. So insightful. So deep. The area under this clock tower is known as Anne Boleyn's Gate, where you'll find a remnant of her time at Hampton Court. On the ceiling, you'll see the initials H and A tied together with a lover's knot. The Great Kitchens was the site of hustle and bustle back when this was an active palace. On staff were 200 people responsible for producing 2 meals a day to 450 people. It was so hot in there that people would be cooking naked. It was so bad that there had to be an order for people to wear clothes while cooking. Henry took a great interest in wine, and it was said that he would spend time in the wine cellar talking to the wine keeper. No one knew where the chocolate kitchens were until 2013. The chocolate kitchens were designed by Christopher Wren for William III and Mary II. Back then, chocolate wasn't consumed in the form of a bar, rather it was consumed as a drink. The Great Hall was built for Henry VIII in the 1530s. It is the last medieval Great Hall constructed for the English monarchy, and it was built to impress and show the wealth of the king. The tapestries in the Great Hall tell the story of Abraham, who, like Henry, waited many years for a son. If you look at the ceiling, there are onlookers watching you, serving as a reminder that you are always being watched. In 1603, Shakespeare performed A Midsummer's Night Dream in the Great Hall for James I. It is said that the ghost of Catherine Howard haunts Hampton Court. According to lore, she ran down this hall proclaiming her innocence and begging for Henry to show her compassion. While I was there, I didn't experience anything paranormal. The scariest thing was this portrait of a boy. There's something very eerie about him. I don't like this. He looks scary. When King William III and Queen Mary II began their reign in the late 1600s, their goal was to transform Hampton Court to be a competitor to the grandeur of France's Versailles. To accomplish this, they hired the architect Christopher Wren, who was famous for building St. Paul's Cathedral. Wren's original plan was to demolish almost all of Hampton Court to make way for a new Baroque-style palace. While this plan was eventually scrapped, many parts of Henry VIII's palace was destroyed in this effort of modernizing Hampton Court. The gardens at Hampton Court are absolutely stunning and incredibly well maintained. As a gardener, I loved walking through the fruit and vegetable garden they had there. At this vegetable garden, they grew some historic vegetables such as Good King Henry, sea kale, and salad burnet. I also had a ton of fun going through the maze at Hampton Court. I've always wanted to go through one of those mazes, especially because I've seen the movie The Shining, and so when I was walking through the maze, I just kept thinking about the movie. For dinner, I went to Master's Superfish. Complimentary, they give pickles, onion, and shrimp, and also bread. I had for my entree the classic British dish of fish and chips. I think the fish I had was cod. And the portions there are huge. I left super stuffed. And honestly, I feel like it was better than Poppy's. I feel like Poppy's is a little bit hyped up a bit too much. I'm back at my hotel now and I'm exhausted. If you're gonna go to Hampton Court, I would say you should know it's an all-day affair. It's open from 10 to 5 and I was there around opening and left around closing time. Thank you for watching, and please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're interested in travel and history, you should check out my video on Versailles and my video on the Palais Garnier, the home of the Phantom of the Opera.